All right, so I'm starting to work on the gyros, and boy, there's a lot of stuff I had to find to get this to work right. One thing when I actually was videotaping the gyro working to begin with, it was actually working nice and smooth and everything else. What I didn't take in consideration was the thickness of the print for the head. It is considerable, and it makes a big difference on everything. And that's something that I definitely have to account for. So I have to adjust the length and width of the what would you call it? The shaft that engages with the drive gear in the motor. That has to be adjusted. I have to adjust the bottom of the bell itself. The voltage that is coming to it needs to be adjusted. Right now it's at 3 volts and it's spinning really fast. So I've got to drop that down to probably, I would say, actually it's not 3 volts. It would be what would it be, 6 15 4.5 volts. So I got to drop it down to 3 volts, which I've got to adjust that because it'll slow itself down a little bit. The other thing I had to adjust was the base for the crown gear. That had to be adjusted also, and right now it's working better than it did, but it still needs a little bit of finesse to it. So I'll turn it on and you can see it. Now you'll see it spinning. See how fast it's going? I mean, it is flying. And then there's a portion of the crown gear that does not work properly, so one of the discs isn't spinning completely. But if I lower the voltage down on this, it'll spin slower, which is what I want, and I need to adjust the crown gear. But overall, it's working pretty decent. I'm pretty happy with it. Like I said, it took a lot of finesse, though. Now, the 2 wires that you see on top, that's going to go to the bulb, and I've got a 10 millimeter LED in here, so that'll light that up through the top of the shaft, which I'll put the shaft together later, and I wanted to test the bulb anyway. But this is the progress I'm having. You can see right there where the one sticks a little bit. It doesn't completely circulate. And then that one circulates and that one circulates, but that one don't. That has to do with the placement of the crown gear. But it's getting there, and it's definitely a work in progress. And these are the kinds of things that you encounter. So let me stop it here for a minute, and I'll show you what I've done here. All right, so we'll stop it. So the way this thing works is, let me pull this up like this. So there's the shaft that the inside of the bell. So the inside of the bell actually sits down on the shaft, and those 3 little gears then come in conjunction as they rotate with this crown gear, which has teeth in it. But this shaft causes just that to spin, and then it stays stationary when you put down your here it is. When you put down your support, and that goes straight down on the shaft. So this stays stationary and doesn't spin, and then this spins around it. So when you put this back on top, so what you do is you line up. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. This should be quite the event here. All right, so you line up that with the shaft, and then it literally will drop itself down. See how barely I'm turning it? Once you find where it'll drop. See it drop? Right there, it dropped. Now it dropped. So now, as this turns, it's engaging the crown gear. So it's a good design. It functions really good. I just have to play with the crown gear on that one, and then lower the voltage, of course. And maybe when I hook up the LED, it might drop the voltage down a little bit. That's something I didn't even think about. Anyway, just wanted to give you guys kind of an update on what I'm working on. So, end the video. Happy printing.